So this is the Alienware m11x. It is their smallest notebook Alienware machine yet, and really their other machines are practically they're just giants, yeah, right. And they weigh a ton and all that. This one weighs almost half a ton. So it is really the smallest machine, and in many ways they do make it pretty portable. So yeah.
And despite its thickness and its look, it's actually pretty light.
I mean, okay, this is an 11-inch display, but for 11-inch model, it's kind of heavy, right? But this is around the weight of a 13-inch MacBook Pro, so it's actually not too bad. So in terms of hardware, just start with some of the simple stuff that's pretty unique on this machine. There are actually two headphone jacks, like two headphone outs, which is not common. The idea is that you can share your music or the gaming sound with your friend, sure. Which I thought that would be kind of strange, but it seems to be it's only on the Alienware machine, so they must have figured some special use case that gamers will actually do. I'm not a heavy gamer, by the way.
Could be a Blink thing.
The Blink thing,
just because I have it.
Yeah, on the airplane I show off to your friend. But I don't know. On the other end, right, it's pretty cool because it has both a VGA port, a HDMI port, as well as a display link port. So practically every kind of monitor, TV, thingamajig, you can hook it up. The only problem is that you can only hook up one at a time, so you can't have some really crazy extended display setup. So which I was like, the moment I saw 3 ports, that was the first thing that came to my mind. like 3 really cool displays. And then another thing is that it's got a pretty interesting SD card slot. So basically, it SD card as well as a micro SD card slot. So without an adapter, you can actually fit in micro cards. In the past, for most computers, you need to have an adapter for those micro cards. And lastly is the USB port. They actually have a USB port with a little lightning symbol. It's not very uncommon. It's actually most notebooks today by Dell.
There is a term for it, isn't it? Like
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember what was it.
Something
but then for some reason I started to use that one a lot more with this machine, and it's really cool the fact that you can actually charge any device, your iPhone for example, even when the machine is off. So completely off, shut down completely, right? And basically it turns the machine into like a portable battery pack, which I thought is very cool.
Speaking of memory though, I've noticed that there isn't an optical drive in a gaming machine.
Oh yeah.
Which is strange.
Yeah, that was a strange decision that I thought. There's no optical drive on this machine at all. So it doesn't come with an external optical drive. I can understand that the machine doesn't come with the drive itself, because nowadays you can just install a game or something like that and we don't have to use the disc to play, right? The thing is that it will help if it at least came with an external drive, or have an option to get an external drive. So
not even on the website.
I'm sure you can find it somewhere, but probably not. With the package itself. Yeah, and the thing is that because there are still some games that still need the disc drive, and granted that today Valve, you have Steam, and Electronic Arts, they have the EA downloader thingamajig, and most games are available online only, as in for download. Even StarCraft 2 is download only, but I think it's still good to have an optical drive bundled together. Yeah, external. Yeah. So at least, so that's the funny thing about it. I thought that it was kind of strange. So yeah, I mean, speaking of optical drive, I thought that in terms of software, Alienware did a pretty good job. Just like the HP Envy, right? There aren't any crapware. There's no junkware on this thing. The only application that comes with this thing is the Alienware Command Center, which is really cool. It lets you tweak the machine to a really to quite an extent. You can actually, apart of course, Alienware has this, they called it the zones, something zone, I can't remember, the light zones or something. Basically you can actually customize the color of the Alienware logo, the 2 speakers at the front, the keyboard's color, backlit color, and even the LEDs. So you can actually customize each of them. You can make them fade more from one color to another. You can make them flash if you want to attract more attention. So that one, you can also customize things like power management, really to pretty granular power management features, as well as when you can customize the touchpad. You can customize the how much you want half the entire touchpad to be dedicated to scrolling. If you want to, for some reason, you can do that. You can switch off, and you can do a very granular tweaking on the machine. So that's very cool.
So in terms of the specifications of this laptop, what's great about this laptop?
So this machine has really been optimized to be portable and battery saving to some extent. So the processor is actually Intel Core 2 Duo ultra low voltage, running at 1.3 gigahertz. On paper it looks like 1.3 gigahertz, but actually it's a very powerful machine. I haven't actually had this machine lag on me yet. It comes with the NVIDIA GeForce 335M, and in case you don't know, this graphics card is actually a notch higher than the Apple MacBook Pro 15-inch MacBook Pro's graphics card, which is 330M. So this graphics card is actually, can you imagine, it's actually more powerful than the 15-inch MacBook Pro, and it has a gigabyte of graphics RAM dedicated to it. For RAM, it's just the normal RAM is 4 gigabytes, and it comes with 2 gigabyte configuration as well. And there's the 500 gigabyte hard drive.
Pretty much standard. What is the screen resolution for this?
Yes, the screen resolution is 720p. So slightly higher than 720p. So you're talking about the 1366 by 768 thing. Yeah. So not just it doesn't just have the 335M graphics card. It also has an Intel integrated graphics card. So what happens is that there's actually a hotkey right on the keyboard called the binary GFX. And what happens is when you hit the hotkey, it will switch from what they call it the increased performance mode to the safe battery mode.
So is this Optimus?
This is not Optimus, so this is not automatic. So you need to hit the key, and what happens is that they will switch from the NVIDIA card to the Intel card, so that you can do your normal work, and you can get the battery to last up to, according to them, is up to about 8 hours. But this machine I managed to get it in about 6 hours, 7 hours, which is on its own is pretty good already. So you can actually have high long battery life, and when you want to start gaming, you switch over to the NVIDIA graphics card, and with that you can get about 3.5 hours of battery life, which again is pretty impressive considering for gaming.
And that is seamless, isn't it? You don't have to log out or anything.
You don't have to log out,
which is what I actually hope for in my Mac, but
yeah. So speaking of that, the battery, right? The battery is not exactly user replaceable. So I mean, it's not hot swappable. It's not sealed inside neither. So there are actually screws which you can just open up. You can just change the battery. Yeah, that is pretty much of this. The M11X. It's a very cool machine. I must say this is one of my favorite machines that I've been playing with. Partly because you can get to play games on it, which makes it more entertaining, right? You can take it around.
What games have you been playing here?
I've been playing most RTS games. Command & Conquer 4. I've been playing on it, and Lego Universe Beta. So I can say that this is probably the most portable gaming machine I can think of. Yeah, this is the most portable gaming machine.
I should take that back. It's not slim, it's just smaller. Because it's like about the thickness of a game.
So instead of comparing this with normal notebooks, like those netbooks or the Sony Vaio X, for example, you should be comparing this with the gaming machines. The really huge gaming machines, the NV15 we saw last week, the Alienware m11x, for example. It's able to play Crysis at 60 frames per second and Modern Warfare 2 at 30 frames per second. So which is very impressive for a machine of this size. At the high performance, you set all the graphics to the high performance mode, and you can do that. So if you think about all that, right, like this is a very powerful machine, a very portable machine in that perspective. So that's what's so cool about it. 1,899 Singapore dollars for the higher end model. We asked you to ignore the lower end model because it's totally not worth it. So we're not even going to mention it.
For the bling.
Yeah, unless you want to just show off.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. It's a really great machine actually for if you like to play games, right? And so that's it.
And if you like to move around a lot.
And if you like to move around, I guess. No, if you like to move around a lot, you might want to get a Vaio P or something.
To play games on the Vaio P.
No, if you just want to move around a lot.
No, just for both.
No. So if you really like to play games and you move around a lot, or you're a student, I think the M11X is a pretty brilliant machine. Yeah. So that's it for this episode of Gear65. Send us your questions, gear65 at tech65.org, www.tech65.org to check out all our previous episodes. And that's it for this episode. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.